Welcome back to the channel. So today I've got one of the last 21 model year X6M competitions. It is in Midnight Sapphire Metallic 2. It is an individual color available on most of the X cards. I believe X5 and up will have this color available. So I'm sure you can tell, hopefully, by the video, is that it's really a dark blue, sort of probably the best way to describe it is midnight blue. It's similar in respects to carbon black, azurite black, and Jerez black, in that it's more towards darker blue, and the blue hue does really come out. It's not a black, it's just a dark blue, and in the sun it really shines. It really pops. It's a great color if you are going to get individual colors, and you like the blues, and BMW makes fantastic blues. I think most people would agree with that. But X6M comp, powered by the S63 V8 twin turbo with 617 horsepower, 553 pound-feet of torque in all its glory. Take a look at the back end here. 100mm exhaust tips in black chrome. Badging is in black as well with the competitions. Gorgeous wheels as well. And we did win the tire lottery, and that we have the Michelin Pilot Sport 4S tires on this particular vehicle. So when we spec, say like the X5, M50i and above, including the X6 and X7, what we are looking at in terms of stocking is pretty highly optioned. So they're always going to have the driver assistance professional package, as you can see for the grille, got that sensor there. They also have the Bowers & Wilkins sound system, if available. They also have the executive package and a few other knickknacks, but those are the basics that we're looking for in terms of speccing those higher end cars. And with the M models, we do try and get some individual colors now, and this is just yet another example. So in the future we will be having a British Racing Green X5M, as well as I think it's Petrol Mica X5M as well. But let's take a look on the inside, and I apologize for the noise of the aircraft flying directly above me. So interior wise, we want full Silverstone leather. I think it complements the Midnight Sapphire metallic paint really well. So inside the cabin, as we mentioned, driver assistance professional package. So you've got all those buttons that we're all familiar with, hopefully by now, as well as the driver attention camera and the instrument panel. For the M cars, you're familiar with M1 and M2 buttons. So I think now across the model range, it's all going to be similar setups here. You'll have these red buttons for M1 and M2. You will also have your setup button down here, as well as your M mode selector. Now, different than the M3 and M4, so the M mode, let me just turn off the camera there. In the M mode, you got sport as well as track, because these are competition models for the M5 and X5M, X6M, etc. You'll have that track mode. Now, what the track mode does, at least with this particular model, so what it does is it turns off the screen here for the iDrive, or basically central display, as well as it will turn off all the driver assistance stuff as well. So this will be all black, meaning it's all turned off, as well as a more focused instrument panel and heads-up display. So hopefully you can see that as well with the tachometer in it. That's what that does. So it's slightly different than the implementation in the M3 and M4, which is controlled by the M-Drive Professional package. But lots of fine details here in the X6M comp. Got the logo here. I think it's a nice touch on the carbon fiber interior trim as well. We got, as mentioned, we do get Bowers & Wilkins on this one here. So that's what we normally spec on cars of this ilk. Where it's available, Bowers & Wilkins for store inventory is always going to have Bowers & Wilkins, as well as the driver assistance professional. But, I mean, what else is there to say about the X6M comp? We've had quite a few, as well as the X6s on the channel. But it's a compromise, of course, You do get that high riding car, but you also get that sloping roofline, which sort of hinders not only cargo space but headroom here. So let's take a look at the rear seat. Alright, so rear seat in Silverstone, or Silverstone, as the British would call it. So you got the fine details here with the M stripes, tricolor on the seat belts. You can see there is that sloping roof. It does hinder. You do have to really walk in as a passenger to get into the seat. It's pretty low here. But otherwise, I mean, it's not bad in terms of headroom. Got about maybe a finger or two of space. I'm not Joe Cleese, so I'm not 6'4" or whatever he calls it, 6'4", 6'3", whatever it is. I'm not Doug DeMuro, so it's pretty, just enough room, I'd say, for someone below 6 feet tall. And of course, much more room if you're smaller than that. So we got the dual zone climate control in the back seats as well. But it's not a bad place to be. I wonder what the options would look like if this thing actually had the M carbon bucket seats. Could you imagine that on an X5M or an X6M or even an X3M or X4M? I think it'd be pretty wild. I don't know. Many people would probably take it, but it looked pretty cool to see it. But nice cabin set up here. Let me close that SOS button here. But I mean, look, it's not a bad place to be. It's pretty luxurious. I find it maybe a little bit on the stiff side. I do normally drive cars in at least the Sport suspension. If not Sport Plus, it's a wee bit stiff. All right, so let's take one more walk around the glorious Midnight Sapphire 2 metallic paint. So we are up here in Palo Alto, or just above Palo Alto. It's sort of in the Los Altos Hills, in a park that was once exclusive domain of Palo Alto residents, and now they can't block us anymore. So suck it, Palo Alto. I really love the blue that comes out in the sun, and I believe that's showing up on the video, but fantastic looking paint. So we don't know how long this will actually last on the dealership lot, but we'll end up seeing. Alright, so let us know what you think of this color, and if you'd like to potentially see any other individual colors on M cars, or even something crazy. Like I just inquired about the individual color on the M235i Grand Coupe. Look at those ones. Sit around anyway, might as well have something good to look at. But that's it for this video, so we'll see you at the next one.